All right, remember this workflow, this animation workflow of moving your desired frames that you make up from asset layers over to your stage to preserve them for your film and to be able to run animation tests. That's the new thing for this assignment, right? And it's repetitive and it's arduous, and I've been saying it over and over again in videos already, but I have it written here at the end of the directions. So what I recommend is just grabbing this, saving it to your desktop, just right from Canvas, right from assignment 3, and then just double clicking and opening it in preview and then shrinking it down so it fits on your screen. Because it's hard to always look up at the whiteboard, and I don't want to always have to write it on the whiteboard, right? So I want you to know what it is. And so we just do that. We go through those 10 steps over and over again. So right now, what step am I on? This is my assets. This is my stage. And I am still building, I'm on step 0, building my next desired frame. I wanted to turn his head a little bit more. So I made duplicates of his face. Now I'm going to make his eyes, and I'm going to stretch those to be a little bit flatter. You know, facing us a little bit more. Without his glasses getting too distorted. Right? I'm going to sharpen it. And I can always go to my stage and see what that change is. And I'm going to delete the neck. Might have sharpened it a little too much, but it's okay. And remember, you can modify selections by holding down Option to subtract. And now I'm going to move that head down a little onto the neck. Right? I can move the eyes down a little. So when we use warp, it's going to blur the pixels a little bit. So that's what issue I'm having with mine. So to prevent that, I'm using the filter for Smart Sharpen, and then I can get that sharpness back. Just a little bit. All right, now remember, this is screen resolution, so I'm not going to see it at 400%. I'm going to see it more at 100%. It will look like this. But what am I missing? I lost the eyebrow. So just because it's covered up here, use my magic wand and erase. Nope, it's not that one, it's this one. Use my magic wand, erase what's covering up the eyebrow. And I'm keeping those eyebrows where they are. It looks a little weird, but it'll work. Okay. So now I've moved the head even more, right? So it was like this. So it goes from this to that. And now I'm setting up my next frame. So let's see what else should change besides him. I already moved the mist. I can see that moving. The sky looks identical, so I want to change the sky a little bit. And then the creature, I want to just wiggle a little bit more. Duplicate it. Transform it. Because it's about to jump out. And now I have my next frame. So I go through these 10 steps. Number 0, I've set up my desired frame. So I start at number 1. Click on the topmost visible layer. Hold down Option. Go to Layer, Merge Visible. Makes a combined layer. Command A to select it all. Command C to copy it. Go to my stage. Command V to paste it in. And go back to my assets. Command D to deselect and then delete. Okay, so now I've built up to this moment more. So now I'm going to test this animation. So I go to Window, Timeline, and I say Make Frames from Layers under the Window Timeline options, that little hamburger in the upper right-hand corner of the timeline window. I'm going to move the white frame at the beginning to the trash. I'm going to hold down Shift and set the timing. And I'm going to try a little bit, well, I'm just going to do 0.3 again. That's my default. And then I say OK, and then I hit play. And then sometimes I'll drag off the timeline so I'm not distracted by it. And I just watch the movement. And I see him kind of look forward first while the creature gets ready to strike, and then he strikes. And that I like better. So I added those kind of in-betweens to slow it down. So instead of him just running right into the crab, that happens. Boom. And I've built assets to help him turn. Good. So what do I do? So far, so good. That timing works. So I stop it, stop the playing, select them all, and then drag them to the trash. And then I hide the timeline. Window, timeline. Okay. And I turn on all my layers, because all the timeline is doing is just programming, turning on this eyeball, right? So I can see my last layer. Now I have to animate after this frame. So I'm going to hit Command S to save. And I'm going to kick Command S to save. And now I got to build it up to that last frame. By turning on the right assets and duplicating this face again, the one I just used, but now it's going to go after this one. Okay, so turn this guy off. So now I'm going to take this face, and I made duplicates of it. I'm going to merge it so it's one thing. And now I'm going to puppet warp it. Or let me just try warping it. And now I need him to look scared, right? So I need to change his expression. What do I need to do? I need to change his asset. I need to get rid of the mouth. I'm just going to use my paintbrush. And I don't need to be only at 3 pixels anymore. I can be bigger. I hold down Option to steal the color. And I just paint out his mouth. And now I got to give him a new expression. So I can use black. I can steal it from the glasses. And I can paint a scared expression. The worried look. And cartoons are fun. It's easy to do. Okay, now right before he looked yellow, right? Like that. So now he just needs to look worried. So I'm going to shrink his body a little bit by duplicating the body behind, because I have my head as a separate asset than the body now. And I'm going to, let's see, trim that body out. And these are going to be different challenges for all of you. depending on what you're animating. That's why you really need to have your sketch and your plan. And now I'm just going to warp that body a tiny bit. I just keep thinking of a Dungeons and Dragons parody song that my son likes called Loot That Body. Loot that body. Loot that body. So I warped it just so that the neck kind of fit with it. Maybe I can move this head just a tiny bit so it feels like it works with it. And I'm just going to change the skin tone ever so slightly by using Magic Wand with contiguous turned off. Select all those skin tones and then go to Image, Adjustment. Remember, you have all these direct adjustments you can play with. Hue, Saturation, and I'm going to make it go a little yellower because I'm getting towards Skeletor here. And maybe a little desaturated and a little paler. Okay. So, let's see what that looks like. From there to there. Now, what happens to the creature? I'm going to have the creature start to recede. So I think I can skip right to an older asset of the creature because I'm giving myself the challenge, which is kind of silly, of using every asset I've created so far in the class, right? Okay, so now I get to use a new asset. And that's going to be my line art jumble, my exercise 1. Creative problem solving. So I open up exercise 1 and I'm going to use the black and white JPEG. I'm just going to drag and drop it in. Right, there it is. I'll hit return. I got to find where it is in my layers. Okay, I like that it's behind the rock. Right? Now I'm going to duplicate it, turn off the smart object, rasterize it, and I'm going to set it on multiply mode. If you remember that, that will show it. But let me see, is there something else I can do? Like I want my guy to feel haunted, right? So maybe kind of like that it goes to black and white, but it's not making full use of it. So yeah, maybe going to the invert like this, right? This will be a little extreme. Now I'm going to stretch it so it fits the whole frame. Okay, and now I'm going to move it behind my character. And sink it into the background, maybe behind. No, I want it right there. Yeah, so right on top of my setting, but behind my character. Is there anything else I'm missing? What's this about? Okay, now I'm going to take the opacity of it down. That doesn't work. All right, so let's try this. I'm making this too complicated. Though I do like it. So can I get away with that? Let's see. From this to this. Yeah, I think so. It'll be like a jump scare. So I'm going to try moving this frame over. I don't need to worry about the sky. I don't need to worry about the mist because I've just replaced the whole background for this little jump scare. So I click on the topmost visible layer, hold down Option, say Layer, Merge Visible, Command A to select all, Command C to copy it all, click on the stage, Command V, paste it in. Boom, big change. Now is going to be where this happens, right? The face starts to melt. and I want to play with the background as I do it. So Command D to deselect, to clear.